Okay. First game that I'm going to show you here is Barren Planet is what the name of it is so far. There's a knife right there. It's just floating around. Don't worry about that. But you can mine these rocks. You can pick them up, move them around. You can really do that with any of the items in the game, except for that knife that's floating around. Don't worry about that knife. There's some tornadoes off in the distance there. And if I go, I'll go over here. Okay. So here's a crashed pod, and then right down here I have a shelter built, and so this is underneath the ground. You can see there's a shower over here. This is where the toilet goes. There's a bed here. You can see down the bottom left when I hit it, the sleep goes up. There's a stove. If I click that, my hunger goes up. And there's a water machine for water. There's all kinds of things. This thing lets mushrooms grow in there. It's a little grow lab thing. These are little fruits. They come from the trees. And I got toolboxes. And various things like that. That water machine, like I say, all this stuff moves around. And as you can see, it's rocking back and forth. That's because, yes, there's a twister coming up on us right here. You can see it's like sucking all these rocks. It sucks everything up into it. So if you don't have an underground shelter yet, and you put things above ground, they can all get blown. So I'm running a bit low here. Mine some materials out of these rocks. I only have 2 different kinds of rocks for materials right now. And then I can pull this up and I can actually craft. There. Where's it at? There it is. A stove. And then I can eat. I can carry it around with me. Yeah. Now if I go over here, it's quite a ways. Hold on. And it's up over this hill. You can kind of see it here. There's a sort of a lava pit. And there'll be several of these all around that people can find. And they can use them to harvest, energy, heat energy, thermal energy, things like that. Things like that. That's all the same thing. But this is it. Or the one that's here right now, at least. Further along over here. These things are, they're plants, but they're like little refrigerators, and you can actually open them up and store food and things inside of them. But they grow in little bunches, only just kind of here and there around. They're kind of hard to find, and the player can grow them, but again, they're not easy to grow. Off in the distance here, I see one of the escape pods. Not the ones that you land in, and here it is, but one that crashes with other people in it. And as we can see, as of right now at least, it's just, there's bones, skull. You can take these back. You can take them all the way back to your base or whatever, your shelter. Put them in there if you want. And these, I can't pick it up. Whoa! But these will be craftable. You'll be able to use them as materials. There we are. Hooray. This is a evolving cubes game. Each of these cubes jumps around, has a very simple jumping mechanism, and they spread it from cube to cube. What they're trying to do, the red spots are heated areas, the blue ones are cold areas, or that's the idea. And the deserty thing is sort of a dry area. And then the green area is just healthy, plain, fine area. Each of these has one area that they want to get to and a simple mode of locomotion to get there. As they go, they interact with other cubes and pass these traits along until they're able to basically get around quickly and get to where they need to go. This is a very basic game. This all comes into play later on with another game that I have. Does it a little bit in a little more spectacular fashion. This one is a little virtual pet type game. It's a pet human. You play as an alien in a spaceship, and you keep a human. This one is a VR homeless simulator, and there's my watch with hours on it. As you can see, it's very flat, but it's new. Over on the other side of the street, and there goes one of the pedestrians. He doesn't care about me. This is the sort of the pad or whatever that it gives all of your stats you can see here. And it's a little big right now. It'll be a little bit smaller, but it's a physical item. This box is also a physical item that you can put things in. Pedestrians don't care. Over here is my ATM. Right now it is a newspaper stand upside down. Not too spectacular. This is the area where I sleep, as you can see. And then there's a store. The whole idea here is that you eventually are able to buy your supplies in the store, and you can eventually buy an apartment above it. Here's the character model for the player, eventually. Don't pay attention to the crazy looking guy behind the bar, or behind the counter. This is not a bar. This is a pill bottle. Again, it's very large, but you can see the physics of the whole thing. These wine bottles have really cool physics on them. They smash. Smash and break. And then if you actually push them around, these little pieces also have physics on them as well. This is the world. Upstairs where the apartment that you can rent is. Like I say, across the street there will be multiplayer, hopefully, and the other player will be across the street there. But you can only stay on your side of the sidewalk. You can go out a little bit on these little islands, but that's as far as you can go. You're stuck to your block. Just like that. This one is a breeder game, and all these little guys, they live their little lives. They all have their own little needs and whatnot. He won't eat the berry. He's not hungry, but the berry's gonna rot. You can see it's getting darker, and there it goes. It's gone. This is the breeding pen here. They come in here. The males have hair, the females do not. And there you can see the eggs. There's an egg in the corner. And boop, it disappeared. Right now they don't appear where the egg hatches. They appear right in the middle of the breeder pen, as they should not. But that's where they appear. So all these guys are running around, and they're trying to keep away from this guy. He's the predator. He lives in that cave. They all live in the town. And they want to keep away from him. When the night cycle happens, which is coming up on really fast here, they will all go to bed. This little red guy over here is not doing what he needs to do. It's getting dark. So here, they're all waking up. It's morning. They're coming out. You can also see that it's getting white. And that's actually not because the sun's coming out. That's because it's getting colder, because it's going into a wintry season, actually. It's greener in the summertime. You can see the berries up there. They're turning, they come off in the beginning. They're green, dark green. Then they light up green. Then they turn yellow, and then red, and they're ripe. And then they fall off. And then the little creatures can eat them. So this is kind of their garden. They'll come in here, and they will pick these, and they should take them back, but they don't do that in this version. But they take them back, and oh no, there's a dead one. And what happened here is they didn't have the trigger to have them actually eat, so so they kept dying. Yes, I tried to get them to eat the berries. They wouldn't eat the berries. And plop. And down they go. Very sad. This one is a garage area that you can play around in VR. It's mostly about the truck. Here's a little mirror over here in the corner. We start with that. See? Hello? 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 Yes, that's the mirror. Next up, some objects. These are the paint cans. If I throw them out, there you go. And I don't know if you can really tell in the video, but they have spatial sound on them. So depending on how far they are away, they can actually make sounds a little differently. These are also objects. All of these have physics applied to them, so you can knock everything over. Pretty much everything in the garage is a physical object that you can move around. These chairs over here also can be pushed and picked up. Each of these can be taken down, these tools. Just physical objects as well. Over here, all these boxes. We also have alarm. The alarm is also supposed to be spatial, but it's not for whatever reason. These, you notice I can't pick them up, but I can push them around. They're too heavy. They're too heavy to actually pick up, but not too heavy to push. Now, the real fun about this particular one is the truck. You can get yourself up into the cab of the truck and kind of play around with the controls and look around. Inside the truck looks like the inside of the truck. I can look into the back. There's some lights and switches there. The real fun is right up here on the dashboard. I can drive. Also, the mirror on the side works. There's me. I can turn the truck on like this. I also have lights. I have pumps, various things over here. Radios, all this stuff. And I can get very, very close down, and when I get down there you can see it all comes in focus. The magic of VR. And then, for the big surprise, whee! It's confetti from the steering wheel. Let's do it again. Hooray! That's fun. This one is what I'd call an empathy app. It's intended to be for caretakers, and really anybody, but people who deal with people that have dementia, basically, and to be able to show them what it's like to have dementia. The whole place changes around you when you're not looking, though. So now in this example here, you can see there's a table with the lamp over there, and it's registering where I'm looking. So if I look over towards like the window over here, or maybe I look over here and grab this cup and do a drink, then the table goes away. There's a TV over there now where there was a different TV before, and the table with the lamp is gone. Makes the room darker. Here we can see there's a city outside, and the idea is just to make it all very confusing. There's other things that happen as well, but that's the gist. This last one that I'm going to show you is also a breeder game, also with cubes. I like those kinds of things, I guess. And they are, this is a VR game. It's sort of this little garden area here. You can see there's some water. There's a little table thing there. That's where their food appears. And they do the same kind of thing. They breed. They have little eggs, pass their traits around. The cool thing about these guys in particular is that they have emotions. Each one of them has different emotions, and and in fact, it doesn't demonstrate it all that well in this video, but they do. They run around, they get angry at each other, and they fight for food, so forth and so on. They do all those things, and there they just had an explosion of eggs because they're all huddled around the food station. And that's it. Also, in the time since I put together the main part of this video, I've done some more to this desert game. This is what it looks like now. Better lighting, better fog, tessellation of the ground, all sorts of various things. Makes it look better, more like a proper planet. Alright, that's all of it.